Welcome to a gentle yoga practice. My name's Kaylee. When you're ready, you can meet me in a seat. So just get comfy, settle in. I don't like to plop right into kind of a sense of freeze. So feel free, if you're a little bit like that, to shift your weight side to side, shrug your shoulders, and then let your body find a spot that feels really centered. And once that happens, you can let your gaze soften down the bridge of the nose or close your eyes down. And become aware that you're breathing. You don't need to change the breath just now. Just taking a couple moments to breathe exactly as you are and let yourself land. And notice if you can sit just a little bit taller without straining. Bring your awareness to your sit bones and let your legs and your hips just kind of melt down, relax them underneath you. And feel the middle of your body supporting you. Maybe a gentle awareness of the muscles around your abdomen. And the heart lifted and open, the shoulders rolling down the back. And without lifting the chin, press the back of the head back just a little bit. And feel some length in the back of the neck as you reach the crown of the head straight upward without tilting your nose up. And just breathe into this space. If you're bringing anything with you to your practice today, maybe that fits, maybe you do, go ahead and bring it to your mat. Now, alternately, sometimes we show up with stuff that maybe we can just set to the side. Just be with your breath and your body. And trust that you know the right qualities to bring to your practice. And that if you ever start to get a sense of doubt or confusion, the best route back might just be taking a deep breath, which let's start with one here. Root down through your sit bones. And as you inhale, inhale all the way up the center of the body, all the way up to the crown of the head. As you exhale, wash the breath back down the back side of the body, shoulders relax, lower back lengthens, and hips drop heavy. You can keep the eyes closed or open them up. We're just going to drop the right ear toward the right shoulder. Try and let your right elbow and your right shoulder stay heavy. So sometimes we get this idea that our goal is to bring the ear and the shoulder as close together as we can. So we draw the shoulder up and the ear down. Keep the shoulder where it is and drop the ear to the right without needing to close the gap between those two spots. And then just breathe. And notice if your body's shifted forward a little bit. Can you bring your shoulders back in line with your hips? Stay here or release the left fingers down and off to your left. Maybe that invites just a little bit more stretch. You soften the jaw. And take a breath in. Bring your chin to your chest as you exhale, and then reset the left hand to your thigh. And bring the head through neutral. Take a breath in. And then left ear toward the left shoulder. And take a couple breaths to find the stretch on this side. To gently feel the shoulder blades staying down onto the back of the ribs. And to just feel into the sense of space in the right side of the neck and jaw. It feels like your body could appreciate a little bit more stretch. Walk the right fingers off to the right. Maybe you plant the peace fingers down and just breathe. Take one more breath into your stretch. Exhale, chin to your chest, hand to your lap. And bring the head up through the center. And then we're going to bring the hands to the base of the skull. So all the way down to the base of the skull where your head meets your neck. Point the elbows upward as you lift your gaze up. We're going to try and keep the ribs and the hips relatively still as we rotate just through the neck. Totally fine if your ribs and your hips get involved. Don't overthink it. As you lift up, open the elbows toward the ceiling, and as you roll it down, close the elbows down. The next time you lift up, pause, let that settle. You might have a little bit of dizziness. And then take it to the other direction, elbows down as you roll down and elbows open as you roll up. If you get any clunking or feel any kind of grittiness here, feel free to slow down or reduce the range of motion. And then the next time you get to the top, pause, take a breath. And then exhale, release the hands to the knees. We're going to switch the cross of the ankles here. It'll feel a little funky. It's okay, we're just building a little bit of balance through the hips. And then from here, we're going to cactus the arms to your side, pull the chest through. You might even send your sit bones back and let your belly kind of stretch out forward toward your feet. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, reach the arms wide, make fists with your hands, and then you're going to push like the spot where your fist, where you're going to press the bottom knuckle together. So the flat side of the bottom knuckles press together. Round your spine, keep pressing the knuckles together as you let your head drop between your arms, and you're straightening the arms out just a little bit. So try and make a circle with your arms here. Take a big breath into the space between your shoulders where you're feeling a stretch most likely. And then as you exhale, come back into that cow back, cactus the elbows. Stay here, breathe in, maybe you stretch a little bit more. And then exhale back into that fist. Press the knuckles together, chin towards your chest. Stay here, take a breath in. Exhale, open it back into that cow variation, lifting your heart. Pause for a full inhale. Maybe you tilt the chin up higher. One more time, knuckles together, make a circle, let your head drop. Stay there, take a breath in. And then exhale, just release, arms back to your lap. And breathe, notice how you're feeling. And from here, we're going to slide all the way forward to the belly. So let the legs stretch out for a moment. Bring your arms down by your side with your palms facing upward, and then rest on the right side of your face for a moment. Let your shoulders kind of shrug up toward you, up towards your ears, I should say, and let the shoulder blades melt away from the spine. And see if you can allow the breath to move a little bit deeper into your belly. And maybe you feel the breath move into like the lower back, the area beneath the ribs, around the kidneys and the adrenals. And then we're going to switch, bring the head to the other side. Just continue to notice that you're breathing. Bring the hands down underneath the shoulders. You can tuck the toes under, engage your abdominals a little bit. Maybe you lift the knees and press the heels back. So lengthen through the low back there, stay here, or crawl the arms forward, tenting your fingertips to traction your spine out here. Look straight down if you can instead of looking forward. So the crown of the head is pulling away from your tailbone. Ribs are moving away from the pelvis. Take a breath in and then relax it down. We're going to press to a child's pose. Take your time, walk the knees forward if you need. If you would, like me, I would have ended up off my mat. And then just settle in for a moment. We're going to add a twist to child's pose. So you'll take your right arm and reach it underneath the left arm outside of the left knee. Then see if you can keep going. You'll start looking toward the left. You're going to rest down on the right side of your face and the right shoulder blade. And this might be a lot already. Stay here. If you want to play around with a little bit more, you can take your left hand to your right forearm and kind of gently pull that arm further over to the left. So we're looking for a big stretch through the right shoulder blade. Most likely you found that. And then see if you can soften your jaw here. And notice what's going on across your brow or your temples. Today's practice is focusing a lot on the upper back, the upper shoulder area. And there's so many reasons why we hold tension in the body. And sometimes it's a combination of many things. And see if you can relax your face a little bit more throughout your practice. Even if you think it's already relaxed, can you relax it just a little bit more? And maybe feel how that affects the muscles in your upper back and upper shoulders. We're going to slowly come out and up to a seat on your heels. Maybe you bring the knees together and just breathe. Just notice the right arm and shoulder, right side of the neck. Any difference in sensation on that side versus the left? And we're going to work into the same stretch on the left. So maybe you come back to a wider knee base in your child's pose. Right arm forward, left arm's going to thread underneath. And then rest on the left ear or the left temple here. I'm just scooching over so I've got some space. And make sure that you can breathe smooth. If you feel like you want to add on, you can bring the right hand to the left forearm and gently pull that left arm toward the right. Relax the jaw. Maybe you even open your mouth just a little bit. And in slow motion, release the stretch. Come back to a seat just for a moment and breathe. We're going to work our way to a straight leg seat. The knees have been bent for a minute here. Straighten out the legs in front of you. Maybe pedal out the knees a little bit. Shrug the shoulders if you want. Try and keep everything soft so you're moving nice and loose, like the fluidity in the body, a little buoyancy. Reach your arms up over your head. Feel free to bend at the knees. I like to start that way, in fact. And then hinge forward through your hips, lean forward. Maybe you reach for your feet, maybe you reach for underneath the knees. You can grab hold of the sides of your mat. Let the head drop. And gently lengthen your pattern of breathing. We've got about 3 to 5 more rounds of breath here. And just notice how your body is responding. Sometimes the body is giving us some little signals to back off a little bit. Honor and respect those. And sometimes the body has actually invited us to move a little bit deeper. Maybe you explore that. And slowly start to unfold, walking the fingers back a little bit, bone by bone, unrolling, easy does it. Once your shoulders are over your hips, pause, take a breath. And we're gonna add a twist with some options to it. I'm gonna turn around just so that I can do right side first with you. Bend your right knee, bring your foot in. It can be really close, it can be pretty far away. Just experiment with that. Then sit up tall, bring your right fingers back behind you and far enough away that you can roll the right shoulder blade down onto the back of the ribs. From here, lift the left arm up, lengthen out the spine. I'm already engaging a little bit through the abdominals. This is going to be an active twist. If you can, we're going to bring the left arm, maybe you push the right knee in a little bit, left arm outside of the right knee. And then once you land, you can readjust the hands, sit up a little taller. Get long through the sides of the neck. If that left arm doesn't reach, go ahead and catch the right knee with the crook of the left elbow. If it did indeed end up on the outside of your right leg and your left elbow is at least as low as your right thigh, so not all the way up here, but at least as low as the right thigh, maybe you bring your hands to a prayer position here. You're still in that twist. If you're with me in that prayer position, we're going to add on from here, lift up onto the right heel, try and keep this connection. So right leg is pressing into left upper arm. As you slowly start to straighten out that leg, maybe the left elbow, ooh, I don't know if mine does, left elbow might come all the way down outside of the right leg. And then maybe you straighten the right leg all the way out. Try not to have a big old opinion about whether or not you ended up here or you're here. I'm going to come back to a little bit more of a moderate version and just breathe. Find space as you breathe in. And then connect to that rotational quality as you breathe out. Maybe you're bringing your chin back a little bit behind you. So lengthen on the inhale, just a tiny bit of room between each one of your vertebrae. Then rotate on your exhale. And just 2 more breaths. Where can you soften jaw, brow center? And we're slowly going to release the twist, bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana for a moment. You can reach for your ankles, pull the chest forward, maybe you rock forward so your pelvis is kind of tilting back behind you. And then hinge forward, elbows can press down gently into the inner thighs. You can here really release the skull, let your head just tumble down. We're finding space in the back of the neck, between the shoulders, really all the way down through the sides of the spine. Maybe even finding space down around your sacrum, that flat bone at the base of the spine that connects with your pelvis. And slowly lift the head back up. In fact, the sacrum, it's not a connection with the pelvis, it is a part of it. Bring your hands outside of your knees. Knees come back together. And then let's straighten out the legs again. And pause. These little pauses between sides, coming back to neutral, are really great ways to give your nervous system the message that it is safe. Bring the left knee in, sit up nice and tall. Left hand back behind you. Right arm reaches up. And then maybe you rotate to bring that right elbow all the way outside of the left leg. Right fingers outside of the left foot somewhere. That's not going, then we bring the right elbow to the left knee, kind of hug it in that way. Just be really friendly with your body wherever it is. You can stay here breathing or bring your palms together. Maybe bringing your thumbs to nestle up against the breastbone if you try that. And then we might try keeping elbow and knee connected to come into your twist. Oh, that side was much smoother. Wherever you land, make sure you can unclench your teeth and just breathe. And 2 more breaths. Maybe lengthening the inhales, pulling them further down into your belly and your lower back. Slowing down those exhales, inviting a little bit more rotation if it feels good. And 1 more like that. Breathe in, reach the crown of the head away from your heart. And then exhale, rotate through the ribs and maybe the neck. Slowly come back through the center. Oof. Shrug out the shoulders. And then come to your hands and your knees. So tabletop position here. You can move around a little bit, let the hips move side to side. We're going to set up again for our cat-cow. We're going to do a cow to a bulldog, so it's a little bit different. You can take your cow stretch, belly down, look forward. Maybe you invite yourself to look over your right shoulder and over your left shoulder. I'm going to turn to the front a little bit. Let's see if I can make space here. And you're going to shift back a little bit so that you can bring your hands into those fists. Bring the knuckles together and then shift forward, curling into your cat. So chin is tucked, tailbone is tucked, and you're pressing energetically the knuckles together. You might feel a little stretch, little energy in the top of the underarm, the front side of the underarm area. Definitely some space in the upper back and the back of the neck. And back to cow, shift back so you can switch the position of the hands, breathing in nice and deeply. Shift back, set up for your bulldog stretch. Pull it forward, round. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm calling this one bulldog. I forget where I picked that up. It's somewhere. You can think of that kind of bow-legged shape that a lot of bulldogs have. Shift back, palms down, cow pose, breathing in. Last time, fists and knuckles connect. Round your spine, curl the chin in toward your chest. Give your chin a very gentle shake side to side. And then slowly release, walking your hips back to your heels for a moment. Sit up tall, soften your eyes or close them down. And just notice how you feel. I remember hearing that in class when I was newer to yoga, and I thought the meaning was always to notice how you feel, and how you feel ought to be better. And to be perfectly clear, that's just not always the case. That the process of noticing, of bringing attention, maybe a friendly awareness into our present moment experience, we're real friendly and curious about it, even the experiences where we're not feeling so good. we can soften around them. When you're ready, work your way onto your back. We're gonna hug the knees in once you get there. Give the knees a really tight squeeze and wrap your forearms around the shins if you'd like, or you might be just catching the kneecaps with your arms on the outside of the legs. Your legs to a tabletop position. And then tee out your left arm or cactus your left arm as you guide your knees to the right. The right hand can catch the crook of the left knee. Find some length in the spine again. Maybe you reach the crown of the head away, tuck the chin gently so the back of the neck is long. And then you have the option to tip your chin toward the left. Bring your knees through the center, take a breath in. And then switch sides when you're ready. Come back through the center. Just a little check-in if your body needs any other stretches or little movements, shifts before you land in a resting shape, you can add those in. And find somewhere that you can rest just for a very brief moment to let everything settle in. Or just to practice the ability to give yourself permission to exist without having to do anything more than just be. You have the time and the space to rest longer. Go ahead and log off or shut off the recording. Otherwise, you can start to nod the head slowly from one side to the other as you allow your breath to deepen. You might stretch or curl into the fetal position on one side. And eventually work your way back to a seat. Maybe you keep your focus turned inward with your gaze soft or your eyes closed. Once you're upright in your seat, we're going to finish with one big cleansing breath. So release the arms down to your side. And then on your inhale, reach out as far as you can. Keep inhaling as you reach up as high as you can. Sip in a little bit more breath at the top. And then open your mouth, let it all go. Thank you for being here, for stretching, for moving, for your practice. I do hope you feel better, but if that's not the case, I hope that you're softening around that as well. Thank you again so much. I hope to see you soon.